Hello, Fran here. I just want to chit chat with you for a couple of minutes, if you don't mind. Um, I've been thinking about growing older and wanting to grow older with health and wellness so that when you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, when you're in your 80s, you still can pretty much do what you did when you were in your 50s. And if you don't take anything to help you get there in a healthy way, then you'll be surprised when you get there, when you look back and say, gee, I wished I had. And the reason why I say that is I know that when we give our child a gift of life by having them born and come into this world, and we always want to do everything we possibly can for our children so that they can have a good and happy and healthy life, right? Okay, so I'm just going to go back a little bit. I was 73 years old when I was introduced to StemTech, my stem cell nutrition product. And at that time, you're pretty much going along into your years. And it was in my 70s that when I had my 70th birthday, that I noticed quite glaringly the weaknesses that were coming upon me in walking and climbing, just going up a little incline, which was very difficult for me, and the aches and the pains that were popping up in my body. I had a pain in my left groin that when I was bowling and I ended up on my left leg, I felt weak. I felt like I was going to fall. So it did affect my release of the ball, and my average went from in the 160s down into the 100s. And I had a good night if I broke a score of 100. And when a person is a 160 average bowler, making 200 every once in a while, getting down and just struggling to hit 100, it's kind of traumatic on the person's confidence and participating in that sport. So anyway, to get back to when I was in my 70s, and I knew that I was falling apart, and I said to myself, I can only look forward and see a wheelchair in the future for me. Now, I have nothing against wheelchairs. I am more than happy to accept the invitation to sit in a wheelchair and be wheeled from the check-in point to my gate when I'm going in an airplane or in an airport when I'm getting ready to fly out and go someplace. But for my whole life, I was not looking forward to sitting in a wheelchair. And it really bothered me because it thought I would be a burden to those around me. And I like my independence. I like to be able to get up and walk from here to there, which I can still do at the ripe age of 87. So anyhow, going back to in my 70s, I just kind of saw a very grim future for me, the way my health was deteriorating. So I started a search. For the supplements, and because there was nothing the doctors could give me in a prescription to make me feel more energized and upbeat and more like I was when I was in my 40s or my 50s. And so I went and I hit the health food store, and I talked to the manager of the health food store. Is there anything on the market that will help me to do da 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 da? And she would make a couple of recommendations, and I would gladly and happily buy them, thinking, oh wow, I'm finally going to find something that's going to help me to give me da 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 da. And I'd take these products home and I'd try them. And unfortunately, no, they didn't do what I was looking for. So then I hit the internet, and I went to this website and that website. I saw this doctor's website and that. I say doctor because they had doctor in their title, and they wore a white coat. So that's a doctor, right? No, it's not a doctor. But anyway, it's the insignia that they have when they wear a white coat that gives them that appearance of being a doctor. So they say, take this and you're going to get this, this, and this. And I'm thinking, oh, they've got this product that's going to do everything that I really want. So I'm going to go ahead and buy it. And none of the products are anything like $25. Oh, no, no, no. They're all in the 80s, the 90s, or the hundreds sometimes even. But my desperation was such that I wanted that product because it said, this guy in the white coat said it was going to do da 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 da, and I wanted da 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 da. And so I'd buy the product, and I would wait happily for the postman to come and deliver it to me, and it always took at least a week, at least at the earliest a week, to get to me. So I have a week of agonizing and dreaming about how I'm going to be able to do the da 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 once again. And I'm going to be wow and all that other kind of exciting stuff. And so my product would arrive, and the next morning, I take my products in the morning. When the next morning come along, and I'm anxious to try it, and I can't wait. And I try it, and I sit there and I wait for the thing to happen. And of course, it never does. You know it. It just doesn't happen. And so I try it for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I would try it for the month, and I don't feel anything, not even the slightest whisper of what they said it would do. Da 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 da. Not even da. And so I take the bottle and dump it in the trash can. I didn't see any reason to keep it cluttering up. I had too much in my kitchen cabinet as it was. I couldn't even fit my dishes in my kitchen cabinets because of all the supplements and the vitamins and things that and the prescriptions that the doctors were given to me. I couldn't wait to clean out my cabinets so that I had some free cabinet space. And I know I'm rambling on, but this is all part of the history. And so I'm in my 70s, and I'm thinking to myself, oh gosh, I wished I had something when I was in my 40s to get me to this, so that when I got to this point, I could still go and do da 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 da, just like that. And there wasn't anything available at that time for me. So after 3 years of searching, and I was almost ready to give up, I started praying, dear God, I need a miracle. Can you please send a miracle to me? And the miracle walked into my kitchen. The miracle was my sister. And my sister was introduced to a product that was able to do the da 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 da. Now, they didn't say that it did all these things. All it said was that this was natural to the system. Natural. Prime word, natural to the system, and it was made out of natural plants, not pharmaceutical, natural. And so I thought, okay, well, tell me what it's all about. So she said, well, it had something to do with stem cells. Ding, 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 ding. Back in my history someplace, heavens only knows where, I heard the words stem cells. Root cause. Stem cells were the root cause, not the root cause, the root ability to be able to repair the damages that was being, it could get to the root of your issues, and like fertilizer to the plant. It gets to the root of the issues and helps to repair it and make it blossom forth and be well again. I'm thinking, stem cells, okay, well, what about stem cells? And she says, well, this product happens to help to release stem cells. Stem cells. Okay, I know we have stem cells in the body because I heard about them. We had stem cells in our spinal cords. Remember way back when, those of you who are my age, remember the hoopla that they made when they were doing spinal cord infusions. They were taking the fluid from the spinal cords of people and giving them to people who were injured, injecting them into people who were injured or who had diseased organs or whatever, and those people were able to regain their health and appear healthy. So they figured there were stem cells in the spinal cord. Well, then they tracked the stem cells into your core, around the middle in your hip area, the core of your body where all your strength should be. And so she said it helps to release these stem cells. They appear to get stuck in the bone marrow, so there's some kind of ingredient in there that helps them to unloosen themselves and flow out of the bone marrow into the circulation system and get to the areas that are damaged and need repair, and repair those parts of the body. And I thought, wow, okay, that sounds intriguing. So anyway, she told me about that, and she told me her experience. She took it and the energy that she felt the next day, so much so that she cleaned her house from her ceiling down to her floors. And she's a little taller than I am. I've shrunk over the years. But anyway, she's not a real tall person. So anyway, she was climbing up on the ladders and stepping up on the counters and getting up to the ceilings. I'm not kidding, the ceilings. Her kitchen cabinets and her whole kitchen, living room, dining room, the bathrooms, the bedrooms, everything she cleaned top to bottom. And she felt wonderful doing it. And I'm thinking, I got tired so easily that just taking a broom and sweeping out my kitchen floor was just an effort. And so I was ready for something that would give me some natural energy. And I thought about it for a couple of days. I didn't answer her right away. I thought about it for a couple of days. And then she called me up and she said, Fran, don't you think that you should try this? And I thought to myself, she's right. I owe it to myself to try it. I mean, how could I continue going around and doing wanting blah da 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 da, only to find out that the products that were on the market did not do da 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 da, and that I was throwing them all away. So what the heck? Why didn't I try it one more time? And so I did. I bought the product and I tried. It was just one bottle and it was only in the $50 at that time. And so it certainly was not $80, $90, $100. And I thought, okay, I can swing that. So I bought the bottles at that time and I started taking the products as recommended. And I did not feel the energy like she did right away. But over time, she kept telling me, it takes time. It took you a long time to get in the condition that you're in, like 73 years, right? I mean, that's a long time. That's not a snap of the fingers. And so it's going to take more than 24 hours to correct 73 years of growing older, right? Okay, so that made sense to me. So I said, okay, I'll just give it some more time. So about 6 weeks went by, and I went to bed one night, my same old self, feeling no change. And I'm thinking, okay, no changes. I'm still feeling that da 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 da. And I wanted to feel better. And so anyway, I went to bed that night and I slept soundly, but I had the feeling that something was going on inside my body as I was sleeping. And son of a gun, the sun came up the next morning and so did I. I bounced up out of bed and I said, wow, I really feel good this morning. And so I thought to myself, okay, wait a minute, what happened? What happened overnight? And I think what happened overnight, or from the minute I started taking this product, the minute those stem cells were released into my body, I can envision this now. They took a tour around my body and they all came back and said, whoa, this lady needs help. She's got ... issues and we need to go in and do ... So they took their time doing it. They said, we got to do this right, guys, because we want to give her more years. She's 73. We want her to try to live to 100 in good health and with some sanity. So I thought to myself, okay, my stem cells are having this conversation, not really taking my preferences into mind, but they were coming up with some pretty good ideas. And so I thought, okay, guys, you're thinking on the right track. And so they went in and they were slowly but surely repairing my body. And I didn't feel it until it was like they put the last piece of the puzzle together during that night. And so when I woke up in the morning, everything was going ka-chung, 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 ka-chung inside my body. And they were saying, okay, okay, let's get to work. And we got you taken care of. You're cleaned up and spiffy and shiny and all that kind of stuff. So chunka, 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 chunka. Okay, gal, let's go. So when I woke up that morning, my life changed and I felt really great. So to go back to my original subject, your children. So I'm thinking to myself one day, I had been thinking I wished I had had something like this when I was 40, so that when I could get into my 60s, 70s, and 80s, I could do so in good health and energy, energized, and feeling pretty spiffy about myself and the world. And so wouldn't it be wonderful if my children who were in their 40s took the opportunity to take this product? Now I know that when I say to them, you should be taking this product, they're going to say, no, Mom, we're fine. We're fine, we're healthy. And they were healthy at that time, and they still are. They were healthy, and I knew that that was going to be their argument. They would say, we can't afford it. And they probably had a valid point there. They were all getting started in their careers and starting to raise their own families. And so I thought to myself, okay, but they're going to really, when they hit 60, 70, and 80, they're going to look back on that and they're going to say, why didn't we listen to Mom? And I'm not going to pull that on them. So I just wanted them to see the logic behind it. So I explained to them, and then I had to point out to them some of the issues they were experiencing at that time that might not be occurring if they were taking this product, such as when they get up out of a chair, did they go, oof, or I'm too tired to do that, or I don't want to do that, whatever, just kind of kind of stuff. And so when I pointed out those issues that were starting to manifest themselves in their daily lives and in their ability to feel good, they started putting, got to give them credit, two and two together, and they said, okay, now moms, look at mom. That's what they did. They looked at me and they said, look at mom's energy and look at how she's doing. Well, maybe it would be a good idea for us to take this product. And so they did. I want you to say, not with great joy, but because they knew they were feeling good, but they wanted to feel, they wanted me to be happy and they wanted to feel good. And I guess they kind of got together and they said, all right, as mom gets older, we're going to have to start taking care of her. So we better take care of ourselves. So we will be in good shape to take care of mom when she gets to the point that she can't do so. I'm okay. Remember, I'm an independent person, and that thought kind of was like, oh, no, I'm not going to lay that on them. But you never know what's going to happen in the future, right? So anyhow, they started taking the product, and I will share with you, their careers just took off like rockets. They are doing so well. I am so happy and so pleased for them, and they are all experiencing excellent health. Knock on wood. Continue taking the product and they will continue to be having excellent health. And their children, they have wonderful children. And so I, as the 87-year-old super granny here, look back on it and I say to myself, oh, I am so happy that I introduced this to my children and that I did not let them back me down, and that they did see the validity of it. And they saw the validity of it because I was taking it and they saw how I was responding to it. So going back to you, if you're not taking stem cell nutrition for your own health and your own well-being and your own quality of life, then you will need to be taking it so that you can show what happens to you to your children so that they will take it, so when they get into their 60s, 70s, and their 80s, they're doing so as if they were 30, 40, and 50. So that's the message I want to give to you today. It's a pretty long one, I'm sorry, but it's a very, very important message. It's an important message to leave to the younger generation that is coming up behind us. They need to have that sense of well-being and that sense of natural energy and the feeling of the rightness in the world when they're taking this nutrition, okay? Alrighty, thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.